Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I wanted to share with you 3 things to remember and to pay attention to and to do when you are having a breakdown, like a mental breakdown, like everything's falling apart in your life, you're about to lose it. You're not feeling too hot, you're feeling very dark, depressed, you're in that really like heavy, dark space in your life, a lot of pain, emotional pain, maybe you're going through some sort of a heartbreak, or you're about to lose your job, or just everything is coming crashing down on you, or just there's been so much emotional heaviness that's been building up that you haven't processed, and then like the littlest trigger, the littlest catalyst can like come in and really turn your world upside down and make you feel like you just want to give up on life and like you don't want to continue on because it's just so hard. You feel so heavy and burdened and defeated. That to me is like when you're about to have a breakdown. It's like when you're going through that like really dark like moment of like, oh, I'm done. Like I just don't want anymore. So I've definitely had my share of breakdowns in my life, and they're not fun at all. But the more that I have them, the more that I learn about like what to do in those moments and like what's true and what's not, what I should focus on, what I should not focus on. And then also when I witness my friends having breakdowns, like how I can be of help throughout their breakdown, you know? I think our first instinct is to, when we see somebody else in pain and suffering and struggling, it's to bring them out of that and to save them and to make promises and tell them these beautiful things that are going to happen so that they can distract themselves and focus on that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that positive thinking isn't important in this, but what I've noticed to be the most helpful, at least for me, is to allow yourself, to allow yourself to be in this pain, to be in this darkness in order to, get to the other side. So these are 3 things that I'm going to share with you that if you are going through a breakdown right now, you need to really, I think, focus on and embrace and remember. And if you're not going through a breakdown, you're just watching this video for the tips or whatever, then just remember this for whenever you are about to have a breakdown, because we all have them. And it's just like so important to embrace this. Okay, the first thing to focus on when you are having a breakdown is to first and foremost recognize that you're having a breakdown, right? Like to say to yourself, like, I'm literally about to have a breakdown. You feel it coming on, you feel the energy gaining momentum, the emotions rising, and you're like, I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose it. And a lot of people like to avoid losing it, right? They're like, I don't want to have a mental breakdown. I don't want to have an emotional breakdown. Why? There's all this built up energy inside of you that needs to come out. And that's why like the smallest thing can happen and then it trigger you and then you start crying over nothing. And really it's not about the thing that triggered you. It's about something deeper that you've been suppressing and not addressing or processing properly that needs to come out, needs to come to the surface and like be let out. So obviously the first thing is to become aware that like you're about to have a breakdown, but the main tip number 1 is to allow yourself to have a breakdown. It's to obviously isolate yourself, like go home, lock yourself in your room, whatever you need to do, but let it all out, like let it all come out, let out all of that built up emotion and tension and anger and sadness and all of those things that you've been avoiding, because that's what's happening here. Like all of these emotions and feelings that you haven't been feeling, maybe you've been distracting yourself with work, keeping busy in some sort of way, and you haven't really been dealing and addressing these deeper things that need to be addressed. Or sometimes maybe you're just so stressed going through life, and honestly like you're going through a little wave where like nothing is going right, and you're just working so much too to where you're like really easily triggered and really annoyed and stressed, and then you just haven't had rest, like you haven't had time for yourself, and then you have a breakdown, and that's kind of like your body saying like, hey, calm down, slow down, like pay attention to me, I need you, I need you to reconnect with me. Stop working so much, calm the fuck down and just like be. So a lot of times this is just our body, our soul communicating to us. But the main thing is to allow yourself to feel the pain, allow yourself to have a breakdown. And one of the things with this is like, allow yourself to not be strong for that hour or for that day. Just be a victim. And this is so counterintuitive because I always say like, you're not a victim, of your circumstances. Like you are in charge of your life. Yes, you are. But I find myself whenever I'm having a breakdown, I do feel bad for myself, and I do pity myself, and I'm like, I'm not good enough. Nothing's ever going to go right. This isn't going to happen. I suck at life. Like just the most like self-sabotaging sort of like thoughts that are coming out about myself, and about the universe, like kind of like, are you even here with me? Like, you've totally abandoned me. Like, you just keep throwing shit at me. You're not even, you know, just the worst things that you can say. And like, if you need to let that out, and if you need to just scream at the universe and talk shit to yourself about yourself, or whatever you need to do, just do it. Just like let it all out. I don't think you should dwell in that space, and I don't think it's healthy. Like, whatever you're saying is not true. But sometimes you just need to be a victim and just be like, can someone just take care of me? Can I just be here and not have to be strong all the time and save myself and be conscious and be so spiritual? Can I just be a human for a second? Can I just be a fucking human and just not have to be so empowered and strong? You know, like, can I just acknowledge that I have been through some things, that I have had a rough life, or I've had some rough experiences? Can I just for one day or 1 hour just cry about that without having to be strong and having to look at things so positively, like, well, other people have it worse than me. I shouldn't be crying about this. I shouldn't complain about this. Look at that person's life. Just acknowledge that, like, yeah, you've been through some shit, like, you have had some challenges, and life isn't easy. Life is not easy, okay? Life is hard, especially as a human. To be here as a soul in this body with all the stuff we have to do, all these emotions we have to feel, all the pain that we have to go through, it sucks, you know? And like, sometimes it catches up to you and you're just like, oh, I just want to die. Like, I just want to have, you know? So just, yeah, allow yourself to have that breakdown. And when you're having this breakdown, allow yourself to feel the pain, you know, that you're feeling. Like, cry, scream, vent. If you need to call a friend or like a loved one or somebody who's like really good at this, or just like really good at listening or something, or even like a therapist, just do that and just like let it all out. And if you want to complain, if you want to yell, if you want to say, talk all the shit that you want to talk, just do it. Like, give yourself permission to do it. Let it all out. And just be with the pain, okay? So just don't try to escape from it. Don't try to distract yourself and like watch some TV or drink some alcohol or you know, smoke some weed, or, well, maybe that might relax you. I don't know. But I just wouldn't really recommend like escaping that feeling that you feel because it's so hard and heavy. I would recommend like being with it and going into it and just being very present with it, you know, creating sort of like a safe environment for you. But it's allowing yourself to be in that space of ugly, of dark, the shadow part, you know, just addressing all of that and feeling that, and crying if you need to cry. You know, we're taught in society that pain is bad and that we shouldn't want to feel pain. You know, this is like basically our whole culture. You know, everybody's always trying to mask their pain and pretend like it's not there, pretend like they don't have these feelings. And then that's when you have a breakdown. It's when all the time, like anytime you feel like a feeling, and you're not addressing it or like letting it out or processing it properly, or crying when you need to cry, or journaling when you need to journal, or spending time with yourself when you need to do that, you don't actually process that pain, and then it comes out one way or another. So the first thing that people would want to do in this moment when they're about to have a breakdown is to try to like, no, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go down into that darkness. Like, I'm not gonna have a breakdown. I'm gonna keep it cool. I'm gonna be cool. I'm not about to have a breakdown. I'm not having a breakdown. You know, how many times do you hear people talk about like, I'm about to have a mental breakdown, and I'm not, like, have your fucking mental breakdown, like, break down, because something needs to come out. Like, allow yourself to go through that process, you know, like, it's gonna feel so much better afterward. You're gonna feel so much lighter and relieved, and it's like a big release, you know. So like, the first thing that you can do is to just allow yourself to feel the pain, to be in this muck, to be in this nastiness, say whatever it is that you need to say, allow yourself to be a victim, and just do your thing, okay? Like, allow yourself to be a human and to cry and be sad and whatever it is that you feel. But make sure that you don't stay in this space for too long. You know, only stay there while you need it, while you need to process it, but don't go about living your life as this victim, you know, hating yourself. That's not the goal. But when you're done and you let it out, you will feel a sense of relief. You will feel so much better that you allow yourself to release this energy. And you're gonna feel so much, like I said, lighter and more connected, like honestly, just more connected and centered. And then you can now see things more clearly. And you know, a lot of times, like the reason that we can't stand seeing other people be in pain, so like let's say like one of your friends is having a breakdown and the first reaction would be like, hey, let's go out, let's have fun, like let's distract ourselves, instead of like allowing your friend to like go through the pain and be like, hey, sorry sis, like this is just something that you have to go through. Like you need to be in this pain right now and it's okay. You are going to be okay. There's nothing that you can say to make them feel better. There's nothing you can do to save them from their pain. All you can do is to allow them to go through it and be there as a supporting presence, you know, through the whole thing. If you haven't addressed like parts within yourself, that things that you're not comfortable with, you can't stand to see somebody else feeling that, because you haven't addressed it within yourself. It's never about the other person, it's always about you. It's a reflection of you. So if you have never went to that, you've never allowed yourself to have a breakdown or go into those dark places within yourself, then when you see someone else experiencing that, your first instinct is going to be to bring them out. Like, no, we're not going there. We're not doing that, because you haven't done that. But when you're healthy, you know, you have a healthy connection with yourself, and you know, you allow yourself to feel everything that comes up, then you know that when someone else is going through this, that, you know, it is what it is. You're not going to die. Like, you're going to be fine. It sucks. It hurts. It hurts to see you in pain. I don't want you to be in pain, but it's good for you. It's healthy in like a way, and it is healing you. So all you can really do is, instead of trying to save them and bring them out, is to just be there supporting them through it and guiding them through it. And the reason that it's easier now for me to see other people be in pain and struggle through their emotions is because I've done it. You know, I've been there. I've been to that place. Like when you're going through your breakdown and through your darkness, I know exactly what you're going through. I know exactly how you feel. And I know exactly what is necessary, you know, like I know what you need, because I know what I need in those moments. And so what I need in those moments, like the truth, the deepest truth of what I need is that I need to be there with that pain. I need to really like address it and cry about it and process it and deal with it. That's what I need, to just sit there with it, not escape from it. Which brings me to my next point. One of the things that's really, really important to remember when you are having a breakdown, or if you're having a breakdown right now, is that any sort of negative thought, doubt, any negative outlook on the future that you have right now about your life or about yourself, or anything to do with like not feeling good enough, or not feeling like you're gonna succeed, or feeling like a loser, or like people are judging you, or like, oh, you're not actually this person that you thought you were, like, you know, just all the self-sabotaging thoughts that I gave you permission for in tip number 1 to like yell at yourself about, just know that none of that is true. Okay, so none of the things that you tell yourself during this time, or the way that you see the world, or the way that you see your life unfolding, everything is coming through the lens of darkness, and it's cloudy, it's foggy, it's coming through ego, because you are in darkness right now. Like, it's okay to be there, it's okay to process it, but just know that that is not your truth. That is not your true soul truth. It is wounds, you know, you're seeing right now through your programming, through the wounding that you have, through the pain, you're seeing through pain, and you're not seeing clearly. So whenever I have a breakdown, and I literally think the worst case scenarios about my life, about myself, and then you also about your future, like, well, I'm never gonna have this, I'm never gonna accomplish this, you know, no one's gonna support me, pity, blah, blah, self-sabotaging types of thoughts, which, like I said, is fine to like let out if you need to let out, but also know that it's not true. Like, sure, talk your shit and do your thing, but always remain in that awareness, like that conscious awareness, observing yourself, that this is just the ego me right now, just doing her thing, doing her human thing. But as a soul, I'm up here floating, and I see very clearly that this is just ego. This is literally not real. Like any way that I'm perceiving life right now, or the perspective that I see it from or see myself from, is all illusion. It's not real. It's all based in like a wound that you have, you know, it's all based in pain. And naturally, when you're in your lowest, darkest point, you're going to see yourself and life from that perspective, from that dark, dark point. So just remember that nothing that you are thinking right now, or the way that you see yourself, or the way that you think your future is going to unfold, all of these like doubtful, skeptical, negative thoughts about everything, it's not true. Just remember that you're having a breakdown right now. None of that is true. The sun will come out, you will get through this darkness, and there will be a brighter day. Which brings me to my third point, and this is something that you must remember, and this will be hard, but you have to remember that everything is temporary, okay? Nothing is permanent. The feelings that you feel right now, this darkness, this pain, this depression, it's only temporary, and it will pass. There will be a brighter day. The sun will come out, and you are going to feel alive again. You're going to feel excited about life again. You're going to have your energy back. You're going to have your inspiration back, your creativity, your zest for life. You're going to have it all come back to you. You're going to get back to your soul. You're going to get back to who you truly are, okay? When you're having a breakdown, you're an ego. You are overtaken by that. And that's okay. You need to allow yourself to go through that, you know. Don't like avoid it, but try to remain in step 2 as conscious as possible that you are, in fact, a human in ego right now. And have compassion for yourself, you know. But then the third thing to remember is that you're not gonna be here forever. It might last one day, it might last 1 hour, it might last a week, but you're not gonna be in this dark, depressive state forever. This is not your life. This is not gonna be how things are actually gonna unfold. In that moment of darkness, you might think like, let's say you want to be successful in your career, and like in that moment of darkness, you're like, oh, well, I suck at life. Like, I'm not actually good at my job. No one likes me. People think I'm a loser. I'm not going to actually make any money. Oh, I'm not even creative. Look, I can't even come up with any ideas right now. Like, I suck. Whatever, like all those things you tell yourself. Because of course, like if you're in the moment of darkness, you're not going to be creative. You're not going to be inspired. Like those are the things you're going to tell yourself. But just know that that is not how you are going to feel for the rest of your life. This is a little phase you're going through. It's a little wave that you need to go through. But in a week or in 2 days or in a month, however long it takes for you to get out of this, you know, depending on how much processing you have to do, you will come back home. Like you are going to be back to your true authentic self. And your true authentic self is never that negative, doubtful, skeptical, hating yourself type of person. That's all ego. That's all ego mindset, okay? So your true authentic self loves herself or himself and is empowered and is motivated and is creative and inspired and confident and courageous and just faces life with confidence, you know? So just know that you will get to that place. This isn't going to last forever. All of these things that you're thinking right now are not true. And it's gonna pass. This feeling is going to pass. It always does. And you know what? Not only is it gonna pass, but because you allowed yourself to have this breakdown, you're gonna come out so much stronger and so much wiser, because now you have learned things about yourself. Now you've learned how psychology works, how emotions work, processing things work. You've learned things about yourself, like through the darkness, you know? You've discovered that like, oh, well, this is really bothering me. This causes me anxiety. Shit, this is a fear of mine. You know, now you're more connected. You're more self-aware. You're more connected to yourself. You know yourself, you know, and that brings you wisdom. This is experience. And then this is where, you know, the next time that you have a breakdown, you're not as scared. You're not as like skeptical going into it. You're like, okay, let's do it. I know the process. Let me have my breakdown. Let me be in this darkness. I know this shit I say isn't real. Okay, so don't get too like caught up on it. Don't like think so negatively about your whole life. It's just a temporary little thing, and it is gonna go away, and I will come out, and I will be better. And then you come out so much stronger and so much lighter. And it's like this release, you needed to do it. Like your body was asking you to do it, and you allowed yourself to do it. You allowed yourself to be human. And I do just want to say that if you don't have to be like super negative to yourself in that first one that I said, like sometimes, yeah, I want to just talk shit to myself, but you know, sometimes you have to be loving and compassionate. And obviously like that would be the ideal case scenario, is for you to be loving and compassionate. But I warn against that, because I don't want you to give yourself false like love when really you just need to let out the hate. Like if truly you hate something about yourself, or hate something about your life, or hate something about the universe, you know, or the divine, like it's abandoned you, don't try to act all good girl, good boy, like, oh, but I'm such a spiritual person. Okay, I love you, universe. No, fuck, like right now I hate you because I don't think you're here for me. You know, like, and it's like, let it out. Just let everything out. No filter. Okay, the universe is not gonna punish you. You're not building karma. It's like healthy, like you need to let it out. I hope that makes sense, because I know that does sound like counterintuitive, like especially being on a spiritual path, but it's like part of the spiritual path is embracing being a human, and it's finding balance between the two. And it's never to pretend like everything's okay and to mask it with positivity and self-love when really you're not feeling that. Like, I don't feel like I love myself right now. Why am I gonna tell myself I love myself? Okay. No, like, be real, be honest with yourself. And if you feel like shit, just say it, you know? And maybe through the yelling about it or the saying it is going to click, something's gonna click where you're gonna realize, like, okay, like, clearly that's not true. Step 2, clearly that's not true. None of this shit I'm saying about myself is accurate right now. I'm just, you know, a hot mess. I'm just going through my breakdown, and you know what, that's fine. Like, I just need to go through this, I'll get through this, and the sun will come out. Like, those are the 3 things, those are the 3 steps, okay, that I recommend. So I hope that this video was helpful. If you are going through this right now, I wish you the best, a lot of healing. I want to say, like, stay strong, but honestly, you don't have to be strong right now. Like, it's okay to break down and be weak and be a human. You are human. You have to remember that, okay? So allow yourself to be vulnerable and to feel your feelings, go through the process, but just remember, that's not you. That's not going to be you forever. It's going to pass. Sun's coming out soon, and you will be happy again. You will feel good again. So I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye.